Oh, I didn't think I was gonna. I didn't know me and you was gonna have this conversation, but since you go there,
that's why I was saying it hurt the kid.
we back, man. We talk about recruiting and high school kids for a minute here. One question I get a lot is, should I keep my kid back should I hold him back in the 8th grade? Because some kids can be held back a grade and still graduate in high school and be under the age to play. What's the age? Can't turn 19 or something like that?
19, you can turn 19 by September or something before September.
Right.
I mean November.
Right. So a lot of times it happens in the 8th grade. There's schools now out here that they can do it at any point in time. True Prep and some of these other schools. But usually in the 8th grade, parents whose kids are good in sports want to make a decision of, should I keep my child back in the 8th grade again? So when he graduates, he's older. A lot of time I get that question. They call me, and it's an argument between traditional way of doing things, because a lot of times we're traditional people and we just do things out of reflex, traditional Christmas, Thanksgiving, and we just do these things every year. It's a traditional way of doing things, and it's being reality, like being real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I got a take on this. Everybody ain't gonna agree with me, but I don't care. Like Nick Saban said, man, I'm gonna make everybody happy. Sell ice cream. Nick Saban said that. He said that the other day. When it comes to holding your kid back, if your kid is good at sports, if your kid is talented, this is my take. Your kid is talented at sports, right? You figured out what your kid is good at. A lot of people go through life, don't figure out what their passion is, what they're good at, none of that. You feel me? You figured out that your kid is good at sports. We always say school comes first. They say it, parents say it all the time, it's like a cliche thing. School comes first. You don't get to school, you can't play. If you don't get the grades, you can't play. But the action of a lot of parents, you put in 20 hours of work, 20 hours, 25 hours in the football a week. How much time you putting in your kid in the school work a week? You know what I'm saying? How many hours? 7, maybe? 7 you're paying attention to the school work? You know, a lot of parents.
And that's if.
Right,
that's if.
right. And this is not for all the parents, but I'm just saying, let's be real. A lot of times, your focus is him being athletically talented a lot of times. That's your focus. That's what you talk about. That's what you boast on. That's your focus. But when somebody asks you the question, you say out your mouth, nah, school come first. And your action's not showing that. So if your child is really good in sports, and you think that's going to be his way to get to college, or that may be his way, and I ain't gonna say the league. I mean, only 1% of the kids make it to the league. That's like, you know what I'm saying? But if you said that's the way for him to help his future, what I'm saying is keeping him back in the 8th grade, right? Who is it hurting? Keeping him back in the 8th grade, who is it hurting?
Hurts him.
Huh?
Hurt the kid.
Nope. How does it hurt the kid? See, you just on the test bubbling. You ain't it don't hurt. Keeping him back in the 8th grade doesn't hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt anybody. Keeping him back in the 8th grade doesn't hurt anybody. It hurt. He may not be able to graduate with his class, and his friends may see him, and he may not be able to graduate with his class. But keeping him back in the 8th grade is more so like it's not status. It's like an image thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to graduate on time. You graduate on time. Traditionally, graduating on time, not flunking, has always been a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to graduate on time.
So how does it not hurt him though? So what are you basically teaching him?
My philosophy is this.
Are you keeping him back because you want him to play sports, or are you keeping him back to help him with the grades?
You're keeping him back Oh, I didn't know
See what I'm
I didn't know
saying?
me and you was gonna have this conversation, but since you go there,
That's why I was saying it hurt the kid. Because
Okay.
what are you keeping him back for? Is it because, well, I want him to play sports and I want him,
Angel just sleep on the whole first half of this whole thing. I started.
No, because I was thinking, okay, where he
He
going?
woke
Can't
up in the
keep
middle.
saying- he
Okay,
kept
so
saying it
listen,
hurts
you woke up
something
in the middle of the whole thing. So listen, keeping him back in the 8th grade, right? You put him back in the 8th grade because you think he's good at sports. All your time, your whole life, I just broke it down. You do 20 hours into football, and then you say school comes first, but you focus 7 hours for school a week. Most of your focus is his athletic ability. If he could really play, that's what your focus. That's what your actions are. You show it. You know what I'm saying? He's good at sports. That's what your actions are. If he's good at sports, keeping him back in the 8th grade like Mike Epstein did hurts who? It doesn't hurt anybody. What's your reason to rush into graduate?
To get to the next level.
Huh?
To get to the next level.
It's a rush. Are we in a rush?
I mean, time waits for no man. You okay? You playing football? Yes.
What's the rush?
Your football lifespan is a lot lesser than any other sport.
That could be an argument at the end, but you're 17.
Okay.
You're 16. You're 15. My philosophy is this. My philosophy is this. Traditionally, when you hear that, your knee-jerk reaction is, I ain't keep my kid back for football or sports. Period. That's your knee-jerk
No,
reaction.
I've seen and heard a lot of parents say, yeah, I'm gonna keep my kid back.
Oh, well,
More so saying, oh, I'm only gonna keep him back because I need him to get his grades right before he gets to high school. I don't really hear that. I don't think I ever heard that.
never heard that. It's for sports. So you know what I'm saying. So your knee-jerk reaction is usually, I ain't keep my kid back for no football. No, because our parents taught us that it was a bad thing to flunk. It was a bad thing to fail.
Yeah.
It was a bad thing to. So we look at that in this bad way. But if you're focused, listen, if you're putting your time and energy into sports, right, and you could give him a better, because this happens in Texas all the time.
Okay, but why do you have to keep him back? Because he can go to the 12th grade, finish his 12th grade year, and then go to a preparatory school. You don't have to keep him back. You can just say, well, we're going to send you to a preparatory school before you go to college.
Which one is more?
I would rather take that route than saying I'm going to keep him back.
Wow.
I mean, like I said, what are we keeping him back for? Like, is it just because of sports?
Because of a more mature kid, right?
So it's basically because of sports. It's not even.
Yeah, because you don't have money to
grades.
pay for him to go to college, right?
So it don't got nothing to do with the grades then.
No.
Okay, so it's
You
only
just-
sports then.
No, you're keeping him back because you don't have money for him to go to college, and you want him. You know what I'm saying? You want him to get a scholarship. So an older, much more mature kid like Tiger, like they did with Tiger, an older, more mature kid will have a better chance to succeed in sports. But the reason for not keeping him back is, I always ask parents when they call, they ask me this question all the time. What's your reason for not keeping him back? And usually it's an emotional answer. And some emotional come out. You know what I'm saying? But the question is, what is the rush?
The one emotion for parents would be is, I'm almost down to 18. I'm ready for them to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's
a different answer. They're gonna get that answer. That's
the emotional part.
That's a different answer.
Like I said, I don't know. I don't understand.
It's something we don't think
The
about.
fact, even keeping them back for sports, like, okay, what's going to be beneficial for him? Because now you're basically, it's even like when little leagues, you're basically saying, man, you're older than everybody, but you're going to play with the younger kids and abuse them.
So you think his kid's on the field that's older than everybody? How old was Calvin Ridley?
He was older than everybody.
It's just okay.
And it looked like he was older than everybody.
So maturity. So if you're more mature, you
But
get an
that's-
extra year of training.
So that benefited him on that aspect.
So what I'm saying is, you're more mature. You get an extra year of training, like Mike Epstein. You have a better chance of being recruited. It's just natural. Like you get one more year of training. Now you go to the 9th grade. You have a better chance of getting recruited in the
Okay,
end.
so now transition to the best receiver in the nation, Ja'Cory Brooks.
Yeah.
He was already the best receiver at Booker T.
Mm-hmm.
Leads Booker T go to a preparatory school. I mean, why would I hold him back? Why would I say, man, you gonna stay back another year?
He did hold him back.
When he was, I mean, but that was before he even got to middle school though. That was before he got to middle school.
It did hold him back. Obviously, but him, he was so good that they were saying, "Hey man, could you please put him back in his right grade?"
Yeah, go on. Even what's the other one with Texas A&M? Donnell Harris, same way.
Right. Mark Walton did something goofy like that again, right?
Walton did it too,
Corrected it, blah blah blah. You know, now, a lot of the kids are behind because of the FCAT. It ain't even meant to be like that. A lot of kids are behind because of the FCAT, I think. But when parents ask me this question, man, my thing is, I say, man, be real with yourself. What is your focus? Like your focus is you talk that at school, but your focus is sports. He has to.
I mean, sports is going to get them the scholarship that the parents don't have to pay.
But that's most parents.
So that's the
their actions. They talk their school stuff, but they don't go to PTA meet. They not. A lot of times they ain't. You know what I'm saying? They ain't involved with school the way they involved.
They mostly going to trust the coaches with all that. Coaches, make sure the kid, make sure my son.
Right, but your actions is a lot of times it's sports, and not sports isn't every. Okay, now let's get this conversation out of the way. Football is a short-lived thing. Only 1% make it. Let's get this out of the way right now. I'm not saying put your bags. What I'm not saying is football is the best thing to bet on. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is parents' actions a lot of times is their focus is sports. Some of them don't even help the kids with their homework. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know they got homework.
What's
But the focus is sports. Your son is good at sports.
The exotic picture is painted that, boy, my son is good at this. He could go and be that.
And it is not true.
It's not exotic saying, oh, well, my son has a 4.0. He could go and be that. That's not the exoticness of it. You know, we're in society, your eye gonna look at the most exotic thing that you can see.
So you agree with exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. So if that's what you're trying to achieve, keeping him back isn't hurting anybody. He's not graduating with his friends, no. So if he could deal with being kept back, it's not hurting anybody. Is it traditional? No. Is it cool? No. Are some people gonna say, oh man, if he good, he'll just, but it's true. If you're really, really good, it don't matter. Let's get that out the way. If you're really, really good, it don't matter. Some of you probably can go in 11th grade and go play college. Those kids are different. But every now and then you get a kid like Mike Epstein. Light-skinned kid, plays running back. He plays running back. He's good. College is not sure if he's, you know what I'm saying? If he's good, reverse, what is it? Reverse racism going on in football. Can he play running back? And all of a sudden, I mean, they keep him back. He get bigger, faster, stronger, runs all over Northwestern, that trash pile. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Now he D1 scholarship. All I'm saying is this. It happens in Texas all the time. I think they call it like Texas red shirt. It happens in other places a lot. You know what I'm saying?
But them places you naming, it's a different. Football is very important in the
States. We need to catch up. Just like we started kicking field goals.
We know that. We know it.
Yeah, we need to catch up. Just like we just started kicking field goals.
Man. Texas is a whole nother. Texas got high school stadiums that look bigger than college.
They do. A quick story. I was driving through Texas, headed to San Antonio, and rode past Texas University. And saw that I could see the school. So I told the girl, I said, stop, man. I want to see the stadium. And I'll never forget this. I got out the car. You could walk and look at the stadium, and the stadium is kind of down. One of the most beautiful things I ever saw for Texas Longhorn Stadium. And that's when right there I knew, I was like, man, this almost looked better than our Dolphin Stadium. I was like, that's when I realized that we were like the hood of football in South Florida, sharing the stadium. We like crackheads. We like the crackheads of football. Like we like the hood. We broke. We the poverty of football. Because if their college stadium looks like this, you know what I'm saying? Like right, yeah. They high school. And that's when I realized how unfortunate we were down here in South Florida with all the talent that we have. It doesn't go together. It's like we got all the talent, but it's like they're playing. How many schools share that stadium? The flags are
every school in Dade County
shares the same stadium in South Florida.
It's funny because when you try to explain the Mecca to everybody else, they be like, well, what is that? You be like, well, that's where everybody play every day. And they be like, you only got
but
one
they
stadium.
See it in my videos because they put in the comments all the time. They be like, man, why all the games be at the same stadium? You know what I'm saying? Because you go to Broward, they got their own stadium. When I live in North Carolina, they had their own stadiums. Kids ain't have to pay for. dog, it's the hood. We the hood of football down here. But no, those places are different. But back to what I was saying, like
so they couldn't. They got them luxury of saying, well, I'm gonna keep my kid back. You know what I'm saying? Cause they are traditional schools. You got what's the school? Lake Carroll. That's a traditional school. They do that all the time. Keep kids back. They have kids playing varsity sports in middle school. You know, our kids only do that when they get to high school. We're starting to do it now.
Right.
You know, and then you say, well, he played varsity last year, I'm gonna let him play again this year. Just keep him back in the 8th grade.
But what's the difference? What's the difference? They all going for the same goal. They all trying to get to college.
I mean, like I say, it's if it's just sports for sports reasons, then yeah, you know, parents will do that. You know, but not many parents saying I'm gonna keep him back because of grades. You know what I'm saying? So you like that might be 0.5%.
No, they're not. They're not ever gonna keep him back for grades. I just get people ask me this all the time, and I think the issue is what other people are gonna think. They're afraid that other people are gonna say, she just kept him back to play football, and then you ask the person, be like, what's wrong with that? Keep my kid back to play no football. Well, that's what you put your other time into. That's what you focus is. You know what I'm saying? But it's traditional things that we just say of knee-jerk action, and we don't really think about them. You know what I'm saying? My question is, well, however you decide to do it, how does it hurt them? Like, how is it hurting them? Is it a rush to get a kid to college? Is it a rush to get them out of college?
Yeah, I think
is it a rush to get them into the world?
A lot of parents do rush for their kids to grow up a lot faster than they're supposed to grow up.
I mean, if you run them out the house because you can walk around naked, I mean, that's another story then. I mean, if you want them out the house, you want them out the house.
That's what they be trying to. Boy, can't wait till you get 18, you get up out of here. You know, that's what's
right.
A lot of them think like, man, look, you going to college when you get out of here. One way you're getting out of here when you turn 18.
That's a different thing. But I mean,
you know, and then when they play sports, I mean, come on, it's a couple of kids I can name right now that's so raw, like. Their parents say, well, my kid is raw. No, I don't care nothing about what he been bad in school. My kid raw.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of those.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, but to sum it up, man, only 1%, 2% go D1 in college, something crazy like that. And then only 1% of that makes it to the NFL.
Only 1%?
It's almost impossible, fool. It's almost, of college, of high school athletes, yeah, something crazy like that. It's almost impossible to make it to the NFL. I remember one time I heard there's a video on YouTube where he tell people, listen, you think little Johnny going to the NFL? He's not. That's not the purpose of football. Like, football is to teach them how to work as a team, work with different cultures, how to work hard to achieve something. That's what most people usually get out of team sports. It's very hard to go to the NFL.
I know what you're talking about.
What I'm saying is that when we're talking about keeping the kid back to play football because you want him to get a college scholarship or you want him to go to college, when we talk about that conversation of holding him back, my question is always, how are you hurting him? Or who are you hurting? And a lot of times I say the answer is usually an emotional answer. It's not a answer of, it's just like, that ain't what we do, basically. I ain't keeping no kid back. I wasn't raised like that. Yada, yada, yada. I don't have anything against it. So everybody who be DMing me, want to know if you should keep your kid back, I don't have anything against it. It doesn't matter to me. That's your child. It's his future. If it gives him a better chance to get a scholarship, then do what you got to do. Because there are old kids on the field he's playing against. Some of them only play a half like Wilder that year. He only played a half a season. Calvin Ridley, half a season.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Wilder only played like, what, 4 games, 3 games?
Calvin Ridley played a half a season. So, yeah, I mean, so that's my take on it. Y'all let me know in the comment section below how y'all feel about it. Follow, hit the like button, and if you want to join, become a member, become a member. We love it. XMD. We out.
It's gonna take 3 motherfucking days, and that's what? This nigga